It's a new week in the Crew Motorfest, and this week's theme is called M2CS, and that's because we have a brand new M2CS this week. And this is my summit guide. Let's go. All right, and speaking of something new, it might be time for a new chair, and if it is, I need exactly 1 minute of your time to pay the bills real quick. You guys know I don't sell a bunch of things on this channel. In fact, I say no to potential sponsors every single week, and it's because I believe that if I'm going to make a recommendation, it better be a recommendation that I stand behind on a product that I actually use. My eWin Racing chair is legit the most comfortable chair I've ever owned, and is literally the only chair I've used for the past 3 years. They are by far the best racing chairs on the market because of their insane adjustability and durability. They are super simple to put together with tools that they provide in the box. They have top-notch quality materials. I mean, I'm 6 foot 250, and I really need something that's going to support my weight and be comfortable for my height, and the Flash XL series is exactly that. 550-pound weight limit, extra large seating area, and a height adjustment that's good for people up to 7 feet tall. Go check out ewinracing.com. There's a link in the description. Make sure you use code Militia for 30% off. That's a huge discount. All right, let's get back to it. The bundle this week is going to cost you 560,000 bucks. And there is really no bundle. It's just the M2CS. You're going to use this car for every single event in the summit, and I'm just going to recommend it for the Feats as well. I think you can have some options there, but why not just run the brand new car? It's 560,000 bucks. It's this one here. It's a Street 2 M2CS. There are no additional vehicles. We are going to talk about a lot of shortcuts in this video, so I'm just going to skip to all of those. The first thing you should do with your M2CS is throw the wide body on it. It's going to help you a little bit with the handling, and the back end does get a little bit slippery, so check out the pro settings that I've got so far. Now, this is not my final pro settings. It's just what I'm running right now for the summit. So we got the brake balance at 60. Move down into the suspension. We're at -5, -3, then 0, -3, -6, -6. For the anti-roll bars, I'm at 10 and 5 in the rear, and then the camber is at -0.25 on both. That is the pro settings for now. You can check my website later on if you're looking for like the changes. I will be updating this as I fine tune it. The rewards this week are 50,000 bucks for bronze, 20,000 spare parts for silver, a BMW X6M for gold, and then the JDM white underglow for platinum. That is actually a brand new underglow. It's not a recycled Crew 2, except for it did come in the Crew 2 with like a different color. I think it was like blue. Now we have the white one. Anyways, I could be wrong about that as well. These are the rewards. Let's get into the events. All right, the first event is a lapped race, and so we're just going to look at lap number 2. There's a couple of things you want to keep in mind here. Throttle, you got to be careful with the throttle on this one, and you want to keep the car in a little bit higher gear because you're going to be going over a bunch of curbs for these different turns like this right here. So slow down a little bit. All right, throttle control a little bit here. Nice and easy over the turns, over the curb, through the little parking garage, cut that checkpoint, and then try to get yourself away from that building. Now on this part, you're kind of just trying to build up speed without using too much NOS. This is a lone vehicle, so you don't have the benefit of nitro chemists. Cut this corner here. Now the goal here, just so you know, is between the tree and the red pole. You want to go right in between those. If you hit the pole, you're going to lose a little bit of speed. If you hit the tree, obviously you're losing speed. So go in between there. Now, here again, you're just trying to get a little speed, but you're not trying to use all your NOS. Left-hander, you're going to cut the corner here. Try to grip it as much as you can. I know it gets a little out of control when you hit the curb there. And then the same thing here. Cut this flag. You want to go to the left. Stay in control. Don't force it. If you have to slow down a little bit, no problem. Same thing here. Cut this corner. And then NOS to the finish. Let's move on. All right, the next race, there are a few cuts as well. So let me just go ahead and fast forward to those. Driving along, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. All right, first cut here is at 16%, cut near the tree. Try to control the car across the grass. It does get a little dicey. Next cut is here at 37. Go to the right and just cut the corner. And then get a nice wide angle for this corner cut as well. Again, the car kind of slides a little. Cut right after this big tree. Go straight towards the checkpoint. You can actually cut this corner as well. It's better when you don't hit trees, though. The trees do slow you down. Cut a little bit on this corner as well. Just keep your speed. You can cut this corner as well. You get the picture, right? You're just kind of cutting all these little corners. Here at 57, you're going to cut this corner as well. think that might be it. Do we have one more corner? We have a corner cut here at 63. Cut this one near the wall, but don't run into the wall. Slow down for this part because you have to go left here and you might hit this wall. And then go ahead and use your NOS to get back up to top speed. Let me fast forward here. There's a lot of cuts in this summit, so I'm trying to move a little bit quickly here. I think that's it for this one. Yeah, that's it basically. Everything else is just normal driving all the way to the finish line. Yep. All right, let's move on. All right, the third race is probably one of the tougher races because the cuts you're going to need to take to cut off some of your time are a little bit bouncy, and this car does not like bumps. So it gets a little frustrating. This turn here is a 6th gear turn. Cut it real tight to the house and then get into 5th so you can accelerate out. But 6th gear across the grass. Save some NOS here. Just little taps, Get into 7th. And then a little bit bigger taps here. Downshift and try to control yourself across this. You notice how there's like this little dip in the dirt here? See how it dips down right there where my car is? You want to use that to your advantage. See how the car is like angled to the right? Use that to your advantage when you make this turn. Dips down a little bit. Try to use that. Get into this gutter if you can. Then go ahead and cut this corner here. At the end of this straight here, you're going to be cutting this corner. On the first lap, you can go a little faster because you're going to use these walls to slow you down. On the next couple of laps, you'll be going through that same path and you probably won't hit any walls. You can still hit some walls, but most likely you'll go through the same. Your goal is to go through the same holes. So you go through here, control it, stay on the road, and keep going. The last turn is the only other tricky turn. You want to downshift early and cut very close to this building. There's a little curb here. You want to stay off of that. Just stay on this nice flat area there so that the turn is nice and smooth. And that's it. Let's move on. All right, the 4th race is with your custom version. So remember, on this race, you need to start putting your parts on this car. Make sure you go to your M2CS in your inventory, put on your Nitrochemist with your Pure and your extra pump. You need those for these next 3 races here with this car. Anyways, let's get to the cuts. So here at about 12, I would ride this gutter and then cut across the sand. Make sure you're turning so you don't hit these trees. I did this a little bit funky. It can be done faster, but it is what it is at this point. All right, here at 48%, you're going to cut close to the car. And then if you extend onto the grass a little, it's not a problem, but try not to hit trees. I actually hit one. You can cut this corner as well, just close to the tree. And you're going to NOS to get going again. Let me fast forward to the next cut here. I believe it's at the bottom of this hill. Yep. Right down here. Brake a little earlier than I did so you can cut this a little more inside. And then cut this corner as well. Even though you got to break through the wall, it's still a little faster there. All right, now here at 83%, you're going to go right after the wall. So you see the wall end, then go right. Go towards this checkpoint. Get yourself some speed. And then cut right here towards this checkpoint. You can go all the way left of it and then hit the gutter. It's just a nice lineup, and it helps you take it nice and easy. And that's kind of it. This is a gutter turn here. The very end is also a gutter turn if you're not going to drift it. Some people drift it. I don't recommend it in this car. All right, let's move on. All right, this is the follow the clues race. So I'm gonna let you watch this whole thing, and I'm gonna just try to like comment a little bit on some of this stuff. So this first cut through the trees is tough. My suggestion is to go left after this big tree. It's kind of a real tight squeeze, but you see this big tree here. Stay to the right, then go left in between these 2 trees, and then towards your goal is this green hut. Just go straight towards this green hut when you get to this wall, and when you get to this road, and then just reset there. Now you're gonna go along here. I said I was gonna let you watch the whole thing. I lied. You're gonna go along the road, follow the road, downshift and heavy brake right here, make this turn, and then go across the grass. You're gonna go across the grass here and then turn right after these trees. Make sure you don't hit cars. Oh, I was really close on that one. Stay on the road, stay on the road. You can cut this corner a little bit here after these trees, and you're gonna accelerate through here. Now when you get through here, you're gonna keep going. Go through this that patio thing, and then rejoin with the road here. The next checkpoint is right there by the bulldozer. Let's fast forward this part. So this is just following the road. When you get to this part, you're just gonna take this gutter, then go straight kind of towards the tree, a little bit to the right. and you'll notice you get the check mark as soon as you get close to the road. So at that point, you're good to go ahead and accelerate away. What I mean by that is you're actually good to reset. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. All right, let's keep going here. All right, these are all follow the clues, nothing different here. Keep following the clues, keep following them here. And this is a really tight turn here. After that really tight turn, you're gonna see this building with the lights and sort of these you know, X lines on it. This Aloha sign at the top. This is your sign. You're gonna go on in the little alley here. But to do this, you gotta go wide enough. You got to stay tight enough to this building on the left and go down the street enough to get the checkpoint. Watch what happens here. So it's kind of unnatural, right? You kind of make a wide turn there in order to get the checkpoint. And it's a lot faster if you do this. This is a nice cut here. All right, then we make the right here. And you're basically home free at this point. Make the right there, then slow down when you see this stuff. And you can cut across the grass here and then NOS to the finish line. There you go. Let's move on. All right, the last race is kind of tough, actually. A lot of gutters, and we've got a heavy storm, so your braking distance is going to be extended a little bit in the rain. Just keep that in mind. Your grip is not different, I don't think, but the braking distance definitely is. So all of these turns here are all going to be gutter turns. So up this hill, all gutter turns. And let's see if there's a cut. I believe there's one. So I cut this corner here because I like to NOS a lot on this straight. And you're going pretty fast, so I just cut this corner just to make it easier. Let's go straight to the checkpoint. It's a small cut, but it just makes that corner a little easier. All right, nothing here along the road. When you get here, you can take this gutter. Make sure you do it nice. I hit the wall a little bit. I didn't mean to. Another gutter here. Okay, gutter turns. Man, this is just all gutters. Down at the bottom here, you can actually cut across after the checkpoint. So I take it inside. There you go. Cut across. And then when you get to this turn, nothing here. But the next one, you actually will cut across as well. So after the checkpoint, just cut across after these cars. And then you're going to do the same thing, I think, at the end here. Yep. Cut across this corner here, just like you would in the grand races. And immediately cut across here as well. Right next to those blue, you know, construction materials. Then you're NOSing over here. This last turn looks a lot tighter than it is. What you need to be looking for is this building here. You're going to cut in before this building. You can actually cut this corner and go a lot faster than you think. I would recommend doing that. Then NOS to the finish. All right, let's move on to the feats. All right, for the long jump specifically, you're going to want to have score breaker. You're also going to have score breaker for the slalom, so you might as well put those parts on this car and then use this car for both of them. So you need score breaker with skilled, and I use pure for this, but honestly, it doesn't really matter at this point. So this is the parts setup. For the long jump, I just back up a little bit and then just kind of went for it. Now, if you want to get a little extra distance on the way up, you can use a bunch of your NOS, and then you can pause and unpause, which gives you a full tank of NOS. They still haven't patched this, so you can still use this. It gives you a full tank. And then point your car up and NOS in the air, and you'll get plenty of distance. And with the score breaker, you get double the points anyway, so plenty of points there. All right, with the slalom, it's basically the same thing. If you have score breaker with skilled as your affix, you're gonna get a high score no matter what you do. And so just make sure you don't miss any pylons. Just go slow if you have to. That's kind of it. Have score breaker. All right, finally with the escape, I do recommend using the pause glitch again. So use all your NOS leading up to it, pause and unpause, get your full tank back, and then use that. So for this one, you're going to be going left across the bridge here. So use the gutter, go left. Then when you get across the bridge, you're just going to keep going straight up this hill and rejoin with the road. That is, you can see it on the mini map. You're kind of going straight towards the road. Make sure you use some NOS here, and then just continue on down this road. You're literally just going to go straight down this road. So you go straight forever all the way down this way. And then when you get to here, you can see there's like a little fork in the road. You can just go straight like you would on a grand race. Just continue on straight. It'll eventually catch you here. You really don't need that much distance in order to get a full 157 on the score. I actually just jumped off here because I'm trying to run away from the circle. This is the very end. So anyways, that is it. All right, here are my final scores. If you have any questions about this, send me a DM on Instagram or Discord. I read every single message that comes my way. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Trigger out.